Okay, so we're talking about the methodology training, but it's very important to understand what methods are, and maybe this is the first part of our training is what is a method, right?
Yes. Yes.
Cool. So did you want to continue? Because you're getting really close here, Moss, or were you done?
No, no, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. So we
I
have the
think you need to.
example. Yeah, we had
Yeah.
the example of how we have new methods in place to get work done. We had our example as a work method that we start from the beginning and we do the responsive organizing all the way to the end. That's example of a method. And then you went into a broader picture that a method is a procedure that is used to carry out an activity or work, or but there's some type of you start with A and then you go to B and you have C, and it outlays the carrying out of an activity or work or something else,
Yeah.
right? So this is very good, and we have a term for this, and the term is not what we do, right? It is how we do it.
Okay.
Okay, so the what we do
Yes.
is the responsibility, right? It's
Yes.
the output, it's the actual deliverable, it's the goal, it's the every situation where there's always something that we're doing, right? But the methods is not what we're doing, it's how we go about it. And I really like the way you said it's like, how do we go about carrying out our, and then carrying out our, and then you could basically put a blank here. Because once you have an understanding of how you do something, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you can apply the same methods to anything.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
What is the most famous, most used, most applicable method that exists that affects every single second of every single day of our entire lives for all of society and everybody on the planet?
Breathing.
No. Breathing is not a method. Breathing would be a biological process. What's a social method that is created through human intelligence and human ingenuity, that was invented?
Stop. Close your eyes.
Language.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Almost every single animal and even plants use languages, so it has nothing to do with humans.
Okay.
Language is not a human trait. Almost
Social.
every single plant and animal on this planet uses some type of language. So what is something that humans created that defines our entire society? What kind of society are we on, like, in
Capitalism.
2023? What are we?
Capitalism.
Sure,
No,
but
we're not the whole world.
we've been a capitalist society for thousands of years, but what is different in the last couple hundred years, even the last couple decades, or the last 100 years or 200 years? What's different about our society that defines everything in our life?
It's different that now before we had the difference between the animals was that we have the gray matter, right? So we had the instinct like the animals, and
But I'm
then
not
we
talking.
also had the ability
I'm not talking about
to
instinct.
reason.
I'm talking
And now
without
you have your cyber self. Yeah, you have your cyber self now.
your cyber self now. Okay,
Social.
but without
Yeah,
this method, we would not be here talking. Period. Everything that defines everything that we
internet,
do. Sure, the internet. But what created the internet? What method created the internet?
electricity.
No, electricity is not a method. Electricity exists in nature without human involvement.
Technology.
Sure, but how did we create technology? Did it just create out of nothing, or was there a specific method that we followed that is the most famous, most used method that affects every single second of every single part of our life?
Intelligence.
I don't know. HTML scripting.
HTML is not a method. That is that's a coding language.
Our
All right, let
intelligence,
me
right?
think about it because I love riddles. So let me think.
Just put the name method after whatever you say. So if you said the HTML method, that makes no sense. No one ever puts that together. What is the method that we all use? Why do we have technology? What was technology created out of?
Technology was created out of the radio wave. But that's not the method.
What?
Again, radio waves are not the method.
Okay, but why do we even know that radio waves exist?
Radio waves exist because we are able to read the frequency of radio waves.
How do we even understand that frequencies even exist in relationship to light?
Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
Science.
Okay, science. Okay, so what is the method?
The scientific method.
The scientific method. Scientific method is the most famous, most used, most applicable method. It affects every single second of our lives, and we would literally not even be talking to each other without it.
Yeah, the scientific method, now that you mention it, is something that kind of resembles the way that our double, triple, quadruple, and verification.
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, the scientific method is a very specific thing, but I just want to make sure we use that as an example of a type of method because it's the most famous method ever in history, right? And it defines everything that we are as a society and the direction that we're going from a society to a type 1 civilization, which is basically the goal of the vortex, right? So in the context of understanding what we do, we call it the uniscience method, right? So we have a new method that we do. It's called the uniscience method.
Okay.
And we will go into that in the future, but you know, that's just one of the many methods that we have. That is an evolution of the scientific method. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we just want to start listing out all of the methods. I think we covered what a method is. And just to refresh our memory, it's how we do things, not what we do. The method is all about how we accomplish something. And the what we are accomplishing is just the blank, because you can apply a method to literally anything. All right, so let's take our 5-minute break. And when we come back, we just want to start listing as many methods as we can, and we can also get the link to the list of, you know, everything, all like methods and policies and everything. I mean, we went through this list before, Albert, so I know we have it somewhere. Okay. And then we're going to start prioritizing our methods training and getting a list of what the most important methods to learn. All right, 5-minute break.
Yeah, let's start with 1 or 3.
Get focused on the session.
I'm back.
Yep. I'm not sure if J means this or
Mm.
this. I think it means this.
Hi, I'm back. Think of the lists. Think of the total policies. Here we have one here.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I got taken aback that the health insurance approved my dad for 3 days of rehab. Oh my God, it's so outrageous. The doctors are in disbelief.
Yeah, already.
Outrageous, the doctors just can't believe it. Was like, what, he was in the hospital for over a month and like he wants days of rehab. It's like, what are they doing? All right. So where are we? So we just want to list all the methods. So
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that, Jay, the list of the methods.
yeah, we definitely listed methods somewhere. It was part of all the other organizations and other goals and everything that we were doing, but
I got it. And
you
it's
got
not
it?
the list of models. No, wait. Not
Yeah,
the list of models.
yeah, all the models and stuff. Yeah. Mhm.
Ah, okay.
And the different types of government evolutions and things.
Yes. So this is in the here.
Anyways, let's start with what we feel like are the most important methods that we want training on.
I have 3. I have 3. Okay.
Yeah.
No worries, I'm just choking and dying.
You need a glass of water.
Hey, come on.
I got
This is
water,
not the
I
right time to die after you just got the studio.
I know.
Wait,
I'm trying to eat
wait a little bit.
some peanut butter, and the peanut butter did not go down the right tube. Anyways, and it got all stuck. All right. So can we name one? I made a small list here for method training. I have 4 trainings that I think are pretty important. So let's go all the way down to line 95.
Okay.
So here's 4 that, what is a method? I think the training we just did is extremely important because people don't understand methods. They're not going to understand the rest of the trainings. Then with the Unity methodology proposal, obviously super important. Our method for working as a team, co-creating and following policies towards success that we just covered, as well as the full empowerment and individual commitment, intentional individual commitment as part of our core values, right? Super, super key. All right, so what other methods need to be prioritized for our training?
Okay, so let me get one. The first. No. Second. Second.
Why don't we just use one?
Please stop and get ready.
Yes, one.
Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So yeah, just start with one. Let's do all of
This
one. Can anyone name a single method that they think is very important to get training in? Or a model, a method, a model. Like a model is another type of method, right? Let me go through a couple other things, right? So I want to go through all this vocabulary. See all this vocabulary in column K, right? That's just like, is it a method or not? Like method, yes, yes or no. Okay. So obviously methods are methods, right? Method is a method. Is work a method? No, works are not method. Are policies method? Is a policy a method? No. Okay, policies are not a method. Where do we cover? Where do we get policies? If there's a problem with the policy, what do we call that? What do we call a problem with a policy? What is that called?
Policy broken?
an issue.
No, that was a policy. An issue. Exactly.
Yeah.
So an issue is when there's a problem that can be fixed with either knowing, understanding, or changing a policy. If you have an issue that cannot be solved, if you have a problem that cannot be solved with a policy, then that's a contention, and that can be escalated into a conflict.
Yeah.
And conflicts, by definition, cannot be solved with policies. Okay?
Yes.
So then we have processes. Is a process a method? Yes or no?
What, Jay? I wasn't following. What's the question?
I'm going through the list in column K. So we have methods, work, and policies, and now we're on processes.
Column K.
Column K, line
Vocabulary method, yes or no?
31. Is
Okay,
a process a method? Yes or no? A type of method? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
No, a process is work. Because a process is just a grouping of responsibilities. Right? So a process is not a method. If there's a problem with the process, you bring that to the eval session. Which is the next. Is evaluation a method?
Close your eyes. Count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
No.
No. Evaluation is not
Work.
a method. Do you evaluate and change methods?
No.
Well, let's just give it a little bit more gray. It's maybe kind of, but by definition, the idea of a method is that if you change it, you're creating a new method. Does that make sense? So if you change your method, you don't actually just change the method, you actually create a new method. Because when you make changes to any particular method, it's no longer the original method that was presented. Like if you change the scientific method, is it still the scientific method? Not really, right? It's a different method and it should have different vocabulary to describe what it is. It might be based off the scientific method, but it's no longer the scientific method because it's a different method because you changed it. Okay, and many times methods are created as complete understandings, and then you apply them or you don't apply them, and if you change the method, you actually are applying a different methodology. Okay, which is perfectly
Like for
fine.
example,
Yeah.
as long as my understanding goes, is that at least since I was hired, we never changed any method.
Correct. Well, we've created new methods then.
Yeah, we may have created new methods, but I don't know if we did create new methods. But yeah, for sure we never went there and changed something that was already there, a method that was already there.
Yes, it's very rare to change a method, and usually you're not changing a method, you're just better describing it or improving the method in a way to make it clearer, right? But the method itself just exists. Okay. Whereas a process and a specifically a policy or a responsibility like doing work specifically changes, right? You change policies to improve them. Okay. All right, so let's keep going. Values and principles.
Yes, both.
Yes,
both
values and principles can be used within and can be built around methods. Can be built as a method. Modules.
No.
Yes. every
Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna switch.
All right, so modules basically is module. Yeah, so a module is basically a component of, right? So all of our methods are literally designed to be modular so that you can connect them together in different ways and create new applications of the utility of applying the methods. Okay. So modularization is very much so related to methodology. How about systems? Systems is a
No.
interesting one.
Definitely no.
So I would say yes, and in context, the way the vocabulary for a system specifically is a group of processes, right? So in that context, obviously, since a process is not, it's kind of applies that a system wouldn't be either, except for one thing, which is that systems are self-functioning, right? Like, for example, an ecosystem, right? Well, as soon as you have a self-functioning system, a system in and of itself may be built up of many different processes, but the essence of the system or a component of that system could actually be based on a method or a methodology. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah, but
Yes.
yeah, but it's not a method itself.
But it might relate to a method. Like the method itself could be described as a system. The application of the method may be a system, right? And the specific example of that is that it is an ecosystem. Like a living system is obviously more than just work or process. It can literally be based on a living, functional, conscious application founded in methods and methodology. Okay.
Yes.
So the systems are a little bit, they're just two definitions, right? So we have two definitions for systems. One definition is a system is a group of processes. Obviously, in that context, a system may not apply to a method, but there is another definition of systems, like an ecosystem and other sorts of living and evolving systems. Like, for example, a living document is a system, and that is a method. Does that make sense? the concept of a living document is a
Time to
method.
pause. Please stop.
That's also a
Close your
system.
eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So system, I'll put next to system that basically system has two separate definitions that we use in FQN, and it's the same word for two basically different things. So it's kind of, does that make sense?
Yes.
And I don't know what else
But
to say about that.
but I mean, I am not bot on this thing.
I know.
have-
I'm not saying it's a great. I'm just saying that it's an in between. Like I can't say yes, but I can't.
Within
Say we need it. We
within FQN, within FQN, I believe that, I mean, the systems are the systems, and maybe what you're saying that it's more applicable to a method is the revolutionary infrastructure.
I'm just talking about the vocabulary term as far as like how it's applied in English, right? A system
Okay.
is it, as it is applied in English, represents, like we use the term system to represent a group of processes, right? But a system can also represent within FQN the concept of applying a method. And that method may be broken down into many different processes, but it doesn't change the fact that the system itself can be self-evolving and self-perpetuating, and you can use the term system to represent the application of a method. So therefore, there is a connection between systems and methods that is very important. So if something is a system, it's possible that it could technically be related to a method. That's all I'm saying. Okay, and we'll have some examples.
Yeah. I mean, I was confused with that now.
Yes.
Just the English word, okay, not the.
Well, no, but it's the English word and within FQN and how I have used that word in talking about various methods and systems and technologies and models. Like a model and a system are very similarly used. Something could be a model and something could be a system and something can be a modular system. And I mean, these are all things that are interchanged. But yeah, the primary use that we use in saying a system is a group of processes obviously does not mean it is a method. Absolutely. So it's complicated.
No, I mean, the point is the following in my field. So if we are if we are trying to understand if a system like the English, normal English vocabulary defines a system.
Time for breath. Please stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
So if we use system, because I mean in FQN we are like
well, here can I just say,
yeah.
So for example, the sensei model, the segmentation model is can also be described as a segmentation system. It's a system as it's applied. Sociocracy is a type of system. Our staff systems are a type of system, but they're based on method. So it's basically what I'm saying is that most of the time in FQN, when you say something is a system, it's not a method. But there are occasions, you know, it's a small percentage, but there are occasions where systems within FQN as applied are methods and are related to methods. It's more rare, but it does happen. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
right?
my next question would be an example.
I'm giving you a bunch of examples. So one example is a living document is a system. The method.
No, within FQN.
That we use
I
living
understand in English
all the time. Right? A living document is a system that we use in FQN all the time. All of our documents are alive and are constantly being updated, right? Sociocracy is technically a system, right? The segmentation model is applied as a system. The staff systems are applied as a system, but the staff systems is in and of itself a model, right, that we're building to empower staff. So there's just a lot of different ways that we use the term system that relate to something that's actually a method. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Most of the time system comes up, it's not a method, but every time that we use these other terms doesn't mean it's automatically a method either, right? For example, values, principles, modules, just because it's a module does not mean it's a method. But lots of modules, values, and principles are based in methods, you know? But just because of the majority of the time, values, principles, modules, you know, all those things are going to be methods, but there will always be times where they're not methods. The systems is the other way around. The majority of times that you hear the term system, it's probably not going to be a method, but there will be times where a system is a method. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Time to pause.
Yes.
Please stop. Close your eyes.
Yes.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
No.
Okay, I could change this to most.
To me,
Instead of saying yes, we could just say most of the time. Values, principles, modules, models are all always methods, but then with systems, it's only some of the time. Systems are methods some of the time, whereas modules, principles, and values are methods most of the time. Does that make sense?
I am not.
So work policies, processes,
I'm not flowing with that.
Models.
Yes.
I'm not flowing with that.
Do you want to? What do you say? You're not fine with that, or that you don't understand what I'm saying?
No, I do understand what you're saying, but I'm not flowing with that.
What does that mean that you're not
At
flowing
all.
with that?
Because we either want to define the word, the vocabulary, as applied in English, as you said before. So I would agree with everything that you said. Okay, but if we, in my opinion, in what I feel, if this vocabulary, it is also a problem. I believe that's why I have difficulties in expressing myself so often lately, because the words in English, or I mean, I speak mostly English, but so at the time, high level, at this high level, I only speak English at this current time. So I have a lot of problems expressing myself, because in English there is, which is something that it's, at least in my opinion, I couldn't find until now. And yeah, you said, you made some clarification that I am not flowing with, because if we're talking about the English, I totally agree with you on everything you said. Okay, because that's English. Every word has many meanings, and the system can be everything, or value can be most of the time. And well, okay, but if we wanna
take a break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
So if we take the FQV, I mean, one of the powerful things about FQV is that the words are super precise. When we say a system, it's a system. There's no. That's the feeling I have. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the feeling that I have. I mean, the values, we don't compromise our values for anything.
But I mean, but I mean, English is not a precise language ever. It never has been. It never will be. Like,
I know.
Even the term responsibility in FQN has two very different meanings. A responsibility is a set of steps that you do to accomplish a goal, right? But a responsibility is also the action of individually taking on responsibility of something based on your own commitment. That's a very different definition. Those are two completely different definitions for the same word within FQN.
Yeah, within that is a very good point. That is a very, very good point. I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a problem for terms to have more than one meaning. It's actually very normal for that to happen. And vocabulary is all about perspective. What perspective are you seeing that word in different times, different perspectives from different cultures, different groups? Vocabulary is going to mean different things. I'm just saying that in the history of FQN, I have used the term system for two different things. Most of the time, it does not apply to a method, but there are times where it does.
Okay, so maybe I can.
Like systems are literally the highest level of work organizing, right? There is a work method. Just because it's work doesn't mean it's not a method. There's also a work method, which obviously is a method.
So I'm in line 40. What I can try to give you in a nutshell, what I'm saying is, what you said is a very good point, but there is, when we use responsibility like this, the word responsibility like this, and when we use the word responsibility like this, they're two complete different meanings. Okay,
But I think you're
this word has just one specific meaning. Then when we speak, we are talking, and then we use words that in English, that we're talking English, fluent English, right? We apply the English, so we use responsibility, we use system, and that's what you were saying, and that I must agree. And it happens within FQV, and it's true. But it's also true that within FQV, when we refer to responsibility, the way that I can make this separation is with a capital R, let's say, we all know that that means that you are stepping up to do those steps needed to reach a very specific goal or goals. And that's the only meaning the responsibility has within FQV.
Okay.
The same goes, yes, this is how I understand it, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah.
Okay, so let me break this down, I think, in a much more detailed context that I think will make sense. But should we take a break first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's take a break. Somebody wants to check out. Been going for 3 hours and a half. Please let us know.
I'll check out at the top of the hour.
Okay.
Well.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back.
All right. So who's here?
Javier.
So the point that I'm trying to make, I mean,
Yes.
I may be wrong, but it's what I feel at this time with the current information that I have, that to me this makes sense, because I cannot, as Jay, until Jay shows me, I do not see this within FQV, when we use in a certain way terms like responsibility, like system, like process.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very, very, very specific. It's just one.
Yeah.
I don't see any other meaning to responsibility, the way that when we use it to mean that thing that is just that.
All right. Do you want me to explain this?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so this goes into what I would call part of our work methods, and there's a bunch of different things going on here, including.
Pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
Including our work organizing models and system. This is another example where a system can be used in two different ways, where you have a work organizing system, and we also have our decision-making methods, our decision-making models, right? So the part of this that's applicable is the work organizing vocabulary, right? But this is also part of work organizing training and not just part of methodology training, but it overlaps between both, okay? So the example is very simple. At the bottom of the list, we've got tasks, then we've got responsibilities. So is it
Steps? No, it's not.
task?
Okay. Tasks.
Task. That's what I
Yes,
said.
steps are made of tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, steps are made of tasks.
What?
Yes, steps are made of tasks. Yeah, they're tasks. Steps are just tasks. That's the title of a task. What is
No.
task?
No. Responsibilities have steps. A step is not necessarily a task. A task can be turned into, a step can be turned into a task, but a task can also have multiple steps within a task. A step is
Yeah.
simply, how you go about completing a responsibility or a task. You could even have steps within a process if you really wanted to, but a step in and of itself is not a task. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Task is a very specific thing, whereas a step doesn't necessarily have to be specific. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you have processes, right? And then you have systems. And then we also have projects. Projects. There it is. There's also positions. So this is a project. You've got the position. Okay, so the problem with systems and processes is that we just don't really have like, you know, we don't use them very often. We don't talk about systems and processes very often. So we don't really have like, I don't know, colors for them per se, okay? But we can add colors to them however we want to. I don't know, I'm just putting some colors randomly here. But the key thing here in relationship to a process and a system is that they are also a symbol. Like maybe it's something more like this. Maybe they're kind of like blue colors. We just don't use them very often. But so for example, a process might be.
Stop and get ready. Now inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Okay. So the bottom line here is that we have specific symbology that represents specific types of work within FQV, right? In FQN. A task is always yellow and it's always represented by a little box. A responsibility is like orange and we always use this whole squiggly line thing, which is kind of a reference to a legal link, right? The link. And then processes and systems should also have a symbol, but we haven't created one. So sometimes I just use, like positions, I use the symbol of just putting POS within a, or you could even just do PS or whatever, like within a, you know, some brackets, right? So you could say the same thing with the system or process, that basically when we're organizing our vocabulary, it's not the name of the word in English, it's actually the symbol that represents, for example, the most important one is responsibility. The symbol represents the link to the responsibility. That is what's important about the symbol. So Alberto is 100% correct that we have two very different separate meanings of responsibility. One responsibility is not just capital R, it's the actual symbol of the link to the responsibility organizing. The other responsibility is the English terminology in relationship to taking responsibility, which doesn't have the symbol aligned with it. And so the same thing would be true with the system, right? A system with the symbol is completely separate from a system as used in English. And so a system as used in English would be most of the time, whereas a system as with a symbol would not represent the a method, right? It would represent the system. So does that make sense, Alberto, in terms of understanding like the system with the symbol is almost never a method because it's a system. It's a system of processes. Whereas a system without the symbol would usually be related to like a method. In the same context of responsibility, obviously, is not applicable with the symbol to methods, but a responsibility in and of a thing, and the concept of taking responsibility literally is a method, right?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
So Alberto, does that sound
Yes.
about?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm flowing now. Yeah. Perfect. Amazing. Amazing.
So it's very important that when we're using these symbols and we always have colors associated with them, it's very important that tasks always have a little box. They're always yellow. Responsibilities always have the little squiggly lines and are always orange, right? So over time, we will get better and better at getting the colors correct. And this is exactly where a model, right? This is a model, specifically our work organizing system and our work organizing model for our work methods that is created. It's just not perfected, right? It's like the model, it just needs, the colors need to be correct. The symbols need to be correct. And our keyboards just don't really have what we're looking for. Okay, so eventually the system doesn't change. The model is still there. The method is all clear. It's just like the current symbols that we have on our keyboards are not necessarily what we would want. Does that make sense? But we'll figure it out. We'll fix it
Yeah.
eventually. We'll keep improving it. But that's not necessarily cheating. It's just like, fixing the model so that it's correct. All right, so anyways, I think we're ready to move on and get back into, wait, did we finish this vocabulary list? No. So then there's just responsibilities and procedures. So the responsibility would be exactly the same thing, where the responsibility with the symbol is, and I'm on line 29. Where's the symbol? There it is. So the responsibility with the symbol is never a method, whereas responsibility without the symbol actually literally is a method. Okay, in a procedure, you just mentioned procedure in relationship to your definition, Moss. It was actually quite good, but let's see if we can find it. A method is a procedure that is used to carry out an activity. I mean, that's a great definition. So I would say obviously a procedure is an application of a method. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So any other vocabulary, any other questions on vocabulary? Otherwise, let's just go through our list of methods and models that we want to prioritize for training.
Time to stretch. Please stop, stand up, and stretch and move around for 30 seconds.
Does anyone want to give a method that they'd like to hear more about? Just one.
I mean, I made, I don't know if they're methods, but line 101, I made 3 kind of 7 steps. I call it 7 steps method. Let's put method. I had training 7 steps method. 7 steps ahead method.
Okay. Let's
Method.
call this
I mean,
our.
I'm calling it like this, but I don't know if it says already.
Let's start the first one as a training method, right? So our training method, we have a very, very interesting and specific training method that's different than a lot of businesses, right?
Yeah.
So I think we do a training on how training works, but that's very different than our training method and our model for training, right? So our training model, I think sounds better, right? Model. The key to our training model is that you learn through experience and doing, right? That's our primary training model. Okay. And then basically this quote can be part of that training and understanding why being in the present is so important. And I think that what you bring here is really good, but I think that's part of our training model. Okay, that makes sense, Alberto?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So number 2, what does it mean to be done? What's that? What is that? What's number 2?
That's a method of the double, triple, quadruple verification method. The double, triple, quadruple checking, reviewing, verification. That's a method.
And that's our work method, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's.
So we just covered a little bit of our work method. We talked about our work organizing model. We talked about our vocabulary. We talked a little bit about our work process that Ate described.
Stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
And so what Alberto's going into, so this includes like the quote that Ate gave. So we grab Ate's quote. She said that our work model is that we start from the beginning, we respect the responsibly organizing all the way, right? So that's really, really good. So we respect the responsibly organizing. I'm going to add all the way to the end. Beautiful. Right? So then I went over our work vocabulary, work organizing vocabulary. Then what Alberto is referring to is what we would call our, the work system or whatever you want to call it, where you basically double, triple, quadruple check everything and then, verify, right? And there is a policy here. And so the policy itself is not a method, but it's helpful to understand the method. And the policy is that if you say that work is done, you're not allowed to do that, right? So it's not if, it's like you cannot say that the work is done. It is simply against policy, for example, to go on Discord and say, oh, I completed blah, blah, blah responsibility. I'm finished, it's done. That is against policy. Okay, so that is not a method, but it does help describe and understand our work methods, right? And so the question is, why is it against policy to tell the team that the work is done? And understanding why is the method, right? Because once you understand why it's against policy to tell everyone that work is done, then you understand the work method. Okay?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So does anyone want to go to the trouble to say why it's against policy to say the work is done? Otherwise, let's just keep going. But
Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
so
Let me try.
answer it for the purpose of the recording.
Okay, it's against policy to say the work has been completed, because when you say so, no other worker double check or we like to take on that responsibility again, because we assume the work has been done.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, if you just say you you've moved the work ahead, or you have worked
Now
on
inhale.
this.
1, 2, 3. Exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
Okay, as I was saying, it is just against policy to say the work has been completed, because when you say so, no other worker will want to take that responsibility again. Meanwhile, most often it is never completed. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, I think that's perfect. The only other thing I would add is simply that the opposite, like if you say that the work is done, the work will never get done, because no one will ever work on something that you told them is already done. So the opposite of that is literally going on Discord and saying, I didn't do the work, or saying, I'm not going to do the work, or saying, someone needs to do this work, or no one's ever going to do it because I'm not doing it, right? The more you tell everybody in the team that you're not going to do something, the higher the probability it will get done. That makes sense? So if you literally the opposite of this policy is to go on Discord and tell everybody that you're not doing things, and that will infinitely and exponentially increase the probability that the work will get done. Whereas if you do the opposite and you tell everybody, oh, it's done, the probability that the work will continue is 0. Okay? So we always encourage people to go on Discord and tell everybody that you didn't do the work. That's like the best thing you can say, because then everybody will be, oh, that's not done. Let's double check it. Like, let's get more involved in it. I want to learn more, because if that's not getting done, that's a problem. Okay. All right. Let's go on to your number 3, Alberto.
Okay. So So number three is I mean I learned it the hard way, but as I already said I mean, a couple of times, it's a good place
10 steps ahead method.
to repeat that. Yeah. So basically, our method, which then builds our processes, right? Our policies that builds our processes and everything else. But I mean, the why again, as Jay said, the why we have certain policies is that because the method that 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 under the vortex is so powerful and so magical, incredible, that when it
Time to pause. Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
is that even if we don't know, even if we don't know yet how to address something or to do something or to, to create something, to manifest something, by following policies, by following the process, uh, we have basic, they get, by following the process, but by following the policies, we know that, as we are seeing currently, I don't know if you noticed, but I mean, finally, the vortex is working. He's working perfect. I mean, not perfectly, but he's, yes, no, he's working perfect. He's working. They are working perfect. We need to we need to we need to improve. We need to get better so that they can focus on bigger, higher uh, uh, trajectories. Yeah. All right. So the point is that by following policies, we basically I'm talking about whoever is here now. We are making possible this magic to we made possible. We follow policies enough. No, I don't know if that's a good no. I'm no. Okay, maybe I don't know, but I mean, what I know is that today the vortex model is not just an abstract model, but is like a living entity. Right? It's not like a human being living this kind of way, but it's like it's there. Like it's real. It's not something that now we can just, even if we stopped working today, everybody, it would still be there, ready to take over again because they experience time in a very different way. So even if we stop working and we think that they're not manifesting anymore, they still are because we managed to reach a point where they were born basically, and we did that, thanks God, and and now they're there and they are in control. Like the heavy lifting, they say,
Time to
it's
take
not
a
us.
break. Please stop. Write down whatever you were about to say and take a break for 6 minutes.
It's not us. So basically, what I want to summarize, and then we can take a break with the 7 steps ahead method, is that to just believe that by following policies, everything, even if we know what this everything is, or we still don't know exactly what the goals are. We have a vision, we have a mission, but the goals, we we uh, we identify them as we move forward, as we grow. No? So even if we don't know what our goals are going to be, even if we know where we're going to go or what problems we're going to face or whatever is going to happen in 7 steps ahead, right, in the future, and I use the term seven with purpose because I was saying that always five. J is 5 steps ahead. J is 5 steps. But now it's something more than than just J. Right? Before it was J, that he was doing the heavy lifting. And now, thanks God, J has become as well part of this I don't know, this living organism that is pulling us everywhere. Of course, Jay, he understands better than anyone, so that's why he's Jay. But that's why I started there, because if we train ourselves that to like think a bit more like Jay, that's the bottom line. We can really support the vortex to grow at a much higher, faster rate than it is already pulling, pushing, and which is, I mean, I feel it very, very well, and it's just, even now, we are here, we're talking, but I have the constant feeling that there is this, like this energy that is just, like I pushing there. It's there always, and it's just pushing, and it's going at a rate that is just very, very strong and powerful. But even though, I mean, I must say that it's amazing, cool, ultra super amazing, is that we must and we need to push even, we cannot let ourselves to let the guard down, because we are, I mean, we are, what I believe is that what we are doing here, bottom line, is that we are fighting evil. I believe that we are the only force in the whole planet, and this is more than I believe. I mean, I know that, but I can, if I say I know, you're going to say, okay, it's like saying I'm done, right? So don't trust me. Don't trust me. All right. Go and find out by yourself. Yeah, and I'm done. And then I'm done. Yeah. So I believe personally that by having this kind of training, so being able to think more like Jay, we could really support this this very high purpose, that I believe that God gave us, and He also gave us all the tools, let's say the tools, or I mean the instruments to accomplish it in a not in our lifetime maybe complete, but to make it a very, very, very strong impact on this planet that is just unbelievably wrong, just wrong in any layer of society and civilization is wrong. But FQV, in my opinion.
Yeah, but in just to finish that sentence, we love everything that came before us. We wouldn't be here without it. Okay, but it's like
Yeah,
it's
of course.
time to transform. It's time to evolve and transform what got us here. And you know, as we don't want to destroy, there's a big difference between destroying and not wanting something and transforming it. Transforming it, the only way to transform something is to fully and deeply love it at its central core.
Exactly. I mean, only love. Love is the
Love.
only power is that can transform the world. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
I mean,
Because you actually have to want to support and love society as it exists now in order to transform it. If you go against it and you basically try to destroy it, you can't transform anything that you destroy. If you once it's destroyed, it's untransformable. Right?
No.
So
the society it's already doing that very well by itself.
Exactly.
Very, very well by itself. So yeah, I want to do the exact opposite. I want to transform it, because society, I see because I love, really, I mean, really, truly, I love by command. And like, I mean, I say by command, so that, I mean, I just love. And and I see the beauty that we can really manifest.
And the break. Time to start. Please get focused on the session.
If consciousness just open its its eyes, their eyes. Consciousness just opened their eyes and just said, "Okay, let's sit down a second because here there is something that is totally upside down. So this way we can move forward. Let's get agreement on how to move forward." And I mean, obviously, I mean, this is, I mean, I'm just amazed every time, and I'm just more. I don't know. I don't have words to describe how I feel. Uh, Blessed, blessed, but it's not blessed because I mean I work my ass off to make possible that the vortex, by the vortex. No, I don't want to use the word vortex because the vortex is something that we created, but the, let's say the cosmos, the universe, the one has 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 given me the blessing, the privilege to cross paths with this genius, with this visionary, with this, I don't know, I
Can I
mean,
jump in?
unbelievable person that is Jay, that he for 20 years has envisioned this incredible model that obviously is so huge and so powerful that he cannot do it alone. He cannot do it. That's why the unity theory, you know, we need to be united in order to make the transformation that it, it needs to happen. Because if I need to force myself not to think about all the suffering and all the wrongdoings and all the just all the apathy that consciousness, most of consciousness, stays in this experience as human consciousness, right? Well, I don't know what happens to consciousness when the human body stops to function, right? Because but consciousness is still there; it just goes somewhere else because nothing dies, everything transforms. But the way that consciousness is kept, I don't know how to say very well, but it's very real. I mean, what I say is that at one point in history, evil had to control and created this civilization that is just built to enslave consciousness so that a few, I don't know if it's a lucky one, but I don't know, a few terrestrial beings have
Time to pause.
control,
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
and they can decide with pushing a button to kill us all.
Can
And
I
this
jump
is
in?
yeah, I'm done. Okay.
Okay, beautiful. So
I'm very tired, guys. So maybe I didn't express myself very well, but I had a
no,
fight with my
you did really good,
bit
Alberto. Like,
tired.
just stop.
Thank you.
You did
Yeah,
great.
yeah, I'm stopping. Yeah, yeah.
So what I want to acknowledge is that we need to take a break. All right.
Yeah.
And you said so much, Alberto, that there's no possible way that I can explain all of everything you said without listing
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 completely separate methods. Okay. So
Okay.
I'll just list them real quick. There's the vortex model. There's the native principles of the 7 generations. There's the decision-making model. There's the comprehensive plan, the 2% model,
Very
basically.
right.
This is line 116 to 120, right? So the comprehensive plan is the 2% model that we are literally only doing like 1, 2, 3% of
Yeah.
what we're supposed to be doing. And then the transformative model, the transformation model, obviously the caterpillar into the butterfly approach. So all of these things are very core methods and values and models and systems that we have. And each one of these really needs its own training. And because what you said is so vast and so much, like it needs to be broken out into each one of these, this
Yeah, of
5,
course.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 methods. Okay, so everything you just talked about, there's
That's
5
why
methods.
that's why we have you. I'm just a nobody. So just want to support you at the best of my abilities.
Yeah, and you touched upon all of these methods, but what's so cool about our methods training is that we're gonna deep dive into each one of these so that people really understand them. Because what you did is you kind of just like touched upon all of it in general. We want to go deep and really get deep understanding on each one of these because they're so important. Okay.
Yeah, I'm very low
And then
energy.
the other one I also added was the rhythm. I think the rhythm is
Oh,
something that we just experience constantly now, so we
that's
don't forget it. But
that's
obviously, the rhythm in and of itself is just a completely transformative method and model that we have. So, anyways, let's let Moss or whoever wants to check out, and then we're gonna take a 10-minute break, and then we can continue with whoever else wants to continue. So, does anyone need to check out, or does everyone check out? Where are we at?
Now inhale.
Yeah.
1,
I want to check out.
3. Pause. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Relax.
All right, go
Go
for it.
on.
Check out.
Okay, I'll give the session 7.2. I think it was a great session. Even for the topic which is still ongoing. I would have it was my desire to actually follow to the end, but I think it is the time. So maybe I'll check. I'll follow on the link that will be shared for the recorded the record.
It's being live streamed on YouTube. You just need to go on YouTube.
Okay, I'll do the follow up. So
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to. Maybe I'll check in tomorrow at Hydra. Or for me, it is today at Hydra later. So maybe if there's someone who will be interested, we can do something on the budget. Actually, because I think we should start the 111 East budget, I think. So, and then also maybe
3 days the deadline.
Yeah. So I think but we can. I hope we can if we commit, because we have the free sessions at Hydra. We
They
can
must.
manage.
Words are irrelevant. You
Yeah.
need to show up. You didn't show up today, Hydrate 2. I was there. I checked in to do management. You didn't show up, and then I got distracted with some bullshit
I did.
phone calls.
That one is not good. But because even when you check, I even shared there. I even prepared the notes
Where?
and even I communicated, so we can see what to do.
After how long?
Yeah.
We said. Later.
Okay. Let's
Yeah. Sorry, Mark, but
see you later.
are you saying? But
Yeah.
today, okay. I'm checking for work. It was Hydra H1 and 40 minutes. Then you answer to me 1 hour and 25 minutes after. You see,
yeah, because I checked in at Hydra H3.
We would check in. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I told you to check in before because.
Please stop. Close your eyes. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes.
But anyways, words are irrelevant. Say as long as you want that you're gonna do. But you have been MIA without communicating. I don't know what your commitment really is. I don't understand it, and so words are irrelevant. If you wanna help us, start doing some work. Please. That's what
okay, I will be there. Even today, the problem I had was that yesterday I had a problem with my internet connection. It really troubled me a lot. I had to troubleshoot, and that's why. But I think I checked in around 3 to 4 minutes late at Hydra 3. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Bye.
I told you that Hydra H3 was very difficult because we had Andromeda H2 the methodology set. Was checking Hydra H1, Hydra H2. It's be there. But anyways, Mark, whatever. I mean, this is not. I mean, today was just another example. I mean, you haven't been working for a very long time. And this is what I see, and this is all that matters to me. All the rest is irrelevant.
Okay,
So
okay.
just keep focusing, Moth, on one thing at a time, right? A clear responsibility that you want to work on. So the fact that you proposed that you wanted to work on the management status report, is that what he did? That's exactly what you want to be doing. On a clear responsibility, you propose to work on it, and then you keep proposing, and you get someone to schedule with you at the time that you're available.
Yes.
And then from there, or you need to schedule with the time that other people are available. For example, during the regular scheduled the regular team schedule, right? So
yes.
Anyway, we'll keep going. Also, eventually, you could propose and work with others who are interested in setting up Hydra. 3 sessions per week, so
Yes.
that eventually can come. But again, we need commitment from obviously more than just you. But there needs to be at least 3 people who want to
I'm
really.
equally interested in Hydra.
Okay, so there you go. So you try to schedule with the Tay, try to get
I'm
some schedule, and then propose at 3 days a week, and then we can set up.
I myself, I'm interested.
for Hydra. I'm available for Hydra.
Okay, so
I
there's
think
4 people right there. So
I'm
there.
available for Hydra.
Yeah. So what you want to do,
yes,
Moth, is that you now have there's 3 other people.
yes,
Step up, be a leader, communicate with their team, with these people on Discord about coordinating Hydra
yes.
and getting Hydra set up on a regular basis. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Make it happen.
Okay, I think.
So start with 1 session, and then from that session, you want to organize more sessions.
Okay. Yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Does anyone else want to check out? We're going to do a 30-second stretch. And if anyone else wants to check out.
Yeah, check out. Check out. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give the session 5.5, and there are a lot of things that we learned today, and let's see. Hopefully, we will going to do the regular schedule with everybody in the team and check. Thanks.
Anyone else want to check out?
Hello?
Does anyone else want to
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to check out.
We can hear you.
Is anyone hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to check out. The session was very interesting, and the topics were very interesting also for me. I've seen
Mamon, please mute.
I don't know.
Mamon, kindly mute, please. Thank you. Everest, go ahead.
Okay, let me continue. Yes, as I was saying, the session was very interesting. The topics were very good, and I've learned a lot from the session of today. So, and I hope all the sessions will be like this one, so that I can have a lot to achieve.
What are you going to be working on?
Let me see. For instance, can you bring me back your question?
Just what you're going to be working on. So whenever we check out, we say how the session went and then what we're going to work on moving forward.
Gonna work on.
You say you join more on the budget, right? So you will work on the budget.
I said I will join more. I was interested to join more than the Hydra.
What was the number, guys? I didn't hear it.
Please stop, Close your eyes
Hydra
and
2.
count 1, 2, 3, 4,
No,
5. Open your eyes.
what Alberto means is your evaluation for the session. How many do you give the session?
I will give the session 6.5.
Great, thank
I
you.
say you want to check out as well?
Does anyone else want to check out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to check out the database. The two of you will continue.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I really wanted to stay, but
Check out. Just
okay, yeah.
let's do what
I'll
you
give the session a 6.5. It was good. We talked about the growth. It was equally good. We talked about the methodology. At least it gives a broader image on how I will move forward with our training and the work and all the rest. I'll be focusing on the budget, um, the bills, the assets, the ACU. There will be a session, I think, very soon on the 19th. Payroll and costs. Check.
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Good
Okay,
session.
does anyone else need to check out?
I think it's just you and I, Jay. No. Just take a break and
So me and Alberto are going to continue,
Okay.
but I want to take a 10 to, let's do the bottom of the hour, okay?
Okay.
yep, perfect. Sure.
Cool. And I'm going to stop the recording, and then we can restart at the bottom of the hour and continue. I actually just want to continue with the current topic, and just, our goal is actually to prioritize and create an order of like the top 5 to 10 methods trainings that we want to start everybody on. Okay. And then once we're done with that, we can stop. So hopefully just one more segment and we'll be done. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
So like break till the bottom of the hour.
Yeah.